Everything is pretty much at a downfall lately. The stock market is seeing huge plummets as well as the continuing downfall of prices at the crypto market. You can also see that bonds and the market sentiment are down, and because of this, a lot of people are selling much, but as it turns out, this is the wrong way to go. The huge investors of today are actually doing the exact opposite. They are buying more than ever, even Warren Buffett himself. So in line with that, we are going to take a closer look at what the big investors are doing during the bear market, with the likes of Warren Buffett, Cathie Wood, Ray Dalia, Fred Ursum, and CZ from Binance. But before we get into the video, welcome to Wealthmatic, your regular dose of crypto, wealth, and millionaire inspiration. Here we talk about the latest news, tricks, and tips in the world of crypto, so be sure to subscribe to my channel. It's relatively more possible that a multitude of people are caught up in the fear spectrum as we are seeing tons of downfalls in the current market. However, you should know that the smart move for you right now is to buy, and we're going to find out why. Starting with number 1, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has gained the title of being the world's greatest investor, so it's just natural to see what he's doing to gain wiser insights. Now let's take a look at his most recent portfolio. This is basically a list of Warren Buffett's investments at this time. And you can see that there are quite a few, maybe around 50, give or take. Now, as you scroll through his portfolio, you can immediately see this right here, which captures your attention. This position he took with Verizon Communications. Warren Buffett has always imparted the key principle of not investing if you're not looking at it in the long term. According to Buffett, you should not invest if you don't plan to hold that asset for a minimum of 10 years. But quite surprisingly, he only held Verizon for just less than 2 years after his investment in 2020. This year, he reduced his investment by more than 99%, which just shows that just like the rest of us, Warren Buffett also makes wrong moves in terms of investing. Now let's look at the additional buys for Warren Buffett. By the way, this portfolio is listed according to the holding percentage of Buffett for each asset. As the list goes down, the percentage also decreases. Now take a look at this one. With Liberty Media Corporation, he actually increased his investment by almost 265%. He also made new buys for Markel, McKesson, Celanese, Paramount Global, Citigroup, HP, Occidental Petroleum, and a couple of additional buys for RH, General Motors, Activision Blizzard, and Chevron. And as we go up and up in his list, we are now seeing the cream of the crop for his investment portfolio, which is none other than Apple, with a holding percentage of over 40%, and he even made an additional buy at around 0.40%. But for Chevron, you can see that he made a huge buy at more than 300%, which means that Warren Buffett is seeing something big with this specific asset. Moving on to investor number 2, Cathie Wood. Hailing from ARK Invest, Cathie Wood is actually one of the world's most successful active fund managers. So let's take a deep dive into her investment positions. Her number 1 position is none other than Zoom Video Communications with an overall weight of 10.10%. As you can see right here, Cathie Wood has made tons of changes for her investment positions. We can see reductions with her top 5, namely Zoom Video Communications at 2.30% reduction, 4.07% for Roku, Tesla with 0.32%, UiPath with 2.55%, and CRISPR Therapeutics AG at 0.09%. Some of these positions are not undergoing such large changes overall, just like Tesla with only less than 1% reduction, the same with CRISPR Therapeutics. Quite recently, Cathie Wood has made a huge investment in Tesla, which basically explains the very little reduction given Tesla's potential in the eyes of Cathie Wood. Now, when we move further down, we can see that Cathie Wood has not entirely reduced all of her holdings. For Beam Therapeutics, we can see a 1.36% additional buy, as well as for Robinhood Markets, with an additional buy of 14%. Next on our list is investor number 3, Ray Dalia. Ray Dalia is quite the big name in the world of finance that when banks are in the need of some financial advice, they go to Ray Dalia himself. When we look at Ray Dalia's investment holdings for Bridgewater Associates, we can see that he has been buying, and a lot at that. His entire top 10 holdings all have additional buys, with his reduction only somewhere in the top 20. We can see 35% additional buy for Vanguard, 31% increase for Procter & Gamble, over 90% additional buy for iShares Score, and another 120% increase for iShares MSCI, 75% additional buy for Alibaba, an increase for Johnson & Johnson at 40%, over 37% for Coca-Cola, 36% for PepsiCo, and finally sitting at the 10th spot is Costco with an additional buy at 29%. Now Vanguard, iShares Score, and iShares MSCI are actually emerging markets. And we can't help but notice that Ray Dalia is putting quite a huge sum on these emerging markets with his highest additional buy of 120% for iShares MSCI. Coming up next is Fred Ursum at number 4. Fred Ursum is one of the co-founders of Coinbase, and an article about him was written where he purchased a dip and bought $75 million worth of the company's stock. Now, when we look at the Bitcoin price chart right here, this is the time that Coinbase went public and launched their own IPO. And this is also where top executives ultimately sold to the market. And based on this, we can deduce that Fred Ursum also sold his own company stock right around this time when the market is seeing an all-time high. In terms of Coinbase stock, it is currently sitting comfortably at around $55 to $57 right now, which is actually 77% less than last year. And when we compare it to their all-time high somewhere in November 2021, the Coinbase stock is actually down more than 80%. What we can learn from this is that you should correctly time your buy and sell activities. You sell during its market peak and you buy back in when it's more down than ever. Just like Fred Ursum, which bought $75 million company stock where the price is down over 80%. That's pretty much exactly how you can pull this off. And down to our fifth and final investor, Changpeng Zhao. Changpeng Zhao is just most commonly referred to as CZ, and he is the founder of Binance. Talking about Binance, Binance Labs have actually been investing in PancakeSwap as Cake jumps nearly 10%. But let's first look into PancakeSwap and what it is all about. PancakeSwap is basically a DeFi protocol where you can easily trade, earn, and win crypto using the most popular decentralized platform in the galaxy. And when we look into DeFi, we can see that Binance's BNB coin is now the second protocol in terms of total value locked, and out of the 406 total number of applications making use of BNB, the largest one is none other than PancakeSwap. And to think that PancakeSwap is not that big of a cap coin, not even seeing the top 10 or even the top 20. And that's basically it for this video. Check out other videos on my channel if you are interested in more crypto and money-making content just like this one. If you have completed a video, hit the like button and tell me what you think in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I post something new. That is it for today. See you in the next video.